There's no easy Tonight's regular council meeting being live streamed, audio and visual devices in use, and will record this meeting. So with the agenda, we want to add 9.1 or 9.9 tractor quote. But we want to move that to 3.1B.
Yeah, 3.0B. We'll just move it up in the agenda.
Yeah. So if somebody would like to move to adopt agenda as presented and amended.
So moved.
All in favor? Carried. We have a guest here, Chris Blunt from ATCO Gas for the photo shoot for the grant. Welcome.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me. Did you want to do that right now?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I've got a few things. So first I'll introduce myself. Thank you so much for having me. So my name's Chris Blunt, manager for service pressure control operations. So I've worked with it probably for the last 2 years now since I took over some of the responsibilities from Jamie Jakes. So I'm the primary contact regarding the natural gas franchise agreements and really any questions you have about ATCO. So really happy to be here tonight to present Village of Standard with one of ATCO's Community Energy Fund grants.
Thank you.
So maybe just a really quick note just on the Energy Fund itself. So this is ATCO's second year with that program, and really the intent of that is to really support our municipalities, nonprofit organizations, and schools across Alberta as they work towards their decarbonization efforts, as well as reducing their greenhouse gas emissions as part of their normal day-to-day operations. So that's really the intent of it. This year we received over 60 applications, and we're handing out over $150,000 total. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, no, okay. So $150,000 to 12 different organizations, and really excited to have Village of Standard as one of those recipients. So on behalf of ATCO, I'd like to invite Mayor Gauthier here to accept the Community Energy Fund check for $15,000. So
Okay. So we'll have to take that.
Yeah. All right.
Give us your best smile.
You're talking to me or him?
Either one.
All right.
Awesome. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Right. So, yeah. So what did you want me to stick around or?
No, you don't have to stick around. No, get a long ride home. So.
All right.
Yeah.
No, perfect. Yeah, and if there's any questions at all, you have my contact information. So, any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for having
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you, ATCO, for having this fund.
Yeah.
Really great.
Yeah.
I also received great feedback. That's why I was back for a second year, and look forward to hopefully a third year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Fabulous.
Nice. Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. Take care.
Thanks.
Okay, enjoy the rest of the day.
Safe
You too.
Safe drive.
So 3.0B. 1B.
That's
Take it
me.
away.
That'll be you.
That'll be me. So
So,
time has come, I think, maybe to look at buying a new tractor for the village. I got some quotes from Brandt Tractor. Well, you don't have those, but I have the ones from Tractorland on a Kubota. I'm favoring the M6 111. It seems to be the best bet out of the stuff they've offered. The reason why I'm thinking of the upgrade is due to the loader issue that was brought up at council last time. So there was stress fractures found on the loader. We've since had it repaired. The repair actually looks really good. I think it'd be really strong. But that being said, the tractor is 10 years old. There's about approximately close to 5,000 hours on it. It's needs service on the parking brake, which becomes a safety issue if you're trying to hook up equipment. So that should be addressed. The 3-point hitch has been repaired at some point. So the tractor's starting to show its age, basically. And it's a little underpowered for the equipment we do have in the village. So like the blade the village has purchased in the last little bit. And the flail mower, which I've been running this summer, I noticed since being my first year running it, when you engage the PTO with the current tractor we have, it's just too underpowered. We need about another 20 to 30 horsepower to run that flail mower.
How much horse is the existing one?
The existing one, I believe, is about 85 horse. We're looking at jumping to around 120 to 130 horse.
We also have removed the parking gear in that transmission too,
Yes.
because we had somebody putting it in park before they were stopped and they chewed a bunch of teeth off it.
Mhm.
So now that is also, I agree, a safety issue. We couldn't afford to fix it.
So it's just something to consider, like, do we keep repairing what we have, or do we step up and get something that's more well-equipped for the equipment we have? Which will be able to, yes, like, doing better, like, I plan on putting, upgrading the road through the campground and putting a drainage culvert in there, and the tractor we have currently now is just, it's too light. It's basically a glorified acreage tractor.
What are they willing to give us for ours?
Now, tractor land, because of the loader repair, they're considering their safety issues, so they will not give us a value on trade with the tractor with the loader. So they're showing it as $23,000 trade-in value.
I thought that's maybe what it was.
But that being said, hearing back from Brandt at the last minute here, it looks like they're offering us a newer tractor, which you guys don't have in front of you. I can pass this around, but there looks like they're gonna give us $40,000 trade-in value.
So what's the total price on theirs?
The total price on theirs looks like it's gonna be about 121, well, you must say 122 all in.
Less 40.
No, that's
Oh,
so
that's with the trade.
that's with trade. So before trade, it's actually 142,000, and then you got to put the loader attachment on, which is another 20,000. So with our trade, it works out to 122, you might as well say, with tax. Now, the Kubota you have in front of you, it has, I believe it was 400 and some 70 some hours, or 450 around there. And it's a 2019. It's still on warranty until 3,000 hours or 2027, whichever comes first.
Did they happen to talk at all, or did you guys talk at all about the buyback programs with these?
No,
Because they have.
they didn't even bring it up. I actually brought up the municipality program stuff, and they don't do any of that on the equipment because this is
Really?
considered something different.
Okay. So for another, it'd be another 11,000 for the Brandt. For the John Deere.
Oh, a little more than that. Because we're at
142 total.
122
Oh,
and
88,
we're at
40,
80
sorry,
89, you might as well say, for the other one.
Yeah.
But that being said, we're also jumping up 5 years. So if we go to the John Deere, and we're out 0 hours with the full warranty by the looks of this paper. I could pass it.
Oh,
out.
the Kubota's used, yeah.
Yes, the Kubota is
How many
used.
is on the Kubota?
I believe it said 946 hours. So it's almost like
That's used.
that's used. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead, Yvette.
Being the tractor is such a huge expense,
I
could
don't
we
know.
possibly look at maybe the option to lease or a monthly payment versus outright purchasing the tractor? We probably,
I wouldn't be against doing that. The thing that scares me about buying any equipment like this that's used, we don't know where it's been used, and what it's been done with it, right?
Very good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been rode hard and put away wet, pardon the term, but
No, you're right.
yeah.
So I know which way I would lean, but I think we should talk about leasing it and see what our payments would be.
and then have it on a plan that I
3
mean,
years?
if it's just a monthly payment that we're making for the rest of, I mean, it's
you-
it's $100,000. It's 10, for the next 10 years, it's 10 grand a year, right? So,
For leasing.
well.
No, to buy it outright.
To buy it out, right? You're still,
But that's what I'm sitting here thinking. So then we sit here and 10 years from now, whoever's
we're
sitting
still
here
the
is
same.
doing it again.
Yeah.
So if we could lease it, flip it back every 3 years or 5 years, whichever. I think we should look into what the lease would cost us too. But I'll be honest with you, I'm really scared buying used equipment.
Nice.
I would,
Yeah, it's a crapshoot,
well, we could be right,
especially equipment.
we could be right where
equipment
we're
is-
at right now, fixing. At least to get warranty, right?
True.
How many hours did you have on the other?
Our tractor is, to be exact, it's about 4,800.
In 10 years, so we'll-
10 years. So this red one, the Kubota, that's a quarter, it's already got a quarter of that on.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking too.
So we'll be carrying it out for warranty before we clock it out for hours.
Yeah. And then they're only giving us 23,000 on trade.
That's right. And if we're looking at about $110,000, that's $900 a month for 10 years. And I agree with Martin, if we could lease a unit for less than that, every 3 years we return, we get a new unit,
That's the,
go from there. If it's a leased unit, they'll do maintenance repairs, I'm sure, on some of the stuff.
well, we have, that's what we did with the lawnmowers in Rocky Ford. They're gonna be flipped every 3 years.
oh, so I would explain the buyback program
That's
you're probably
the-
talking about, because
yeah.
we're looking at buying everything outright when you guys are actually leasing.
No,
No?
we bought it outright, but if we're gonna flip it every 3 years because
Okay.
we'll get a better buyback,
Better return.
better.
Yeah, because
better
newer
trade-in
equipment,
value.
lesser hours.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
So I think we should find out what the lease with Brant would be. And I'm just gonna go on record to say this has nothing to do with my kid. He's not in this part of Brant. This is ag. He's in
Yeah, he's in the equipment. side.
the equipment side.
I'm thinking, what I'm thinking here is funding this. Are we gonna be able to fund this? Whether we lease or buy? If it's gonna be a hardship, what would it cost to repair what we have? Or would it be feasible to do that, in your opinion?
Well, then you can repair, but then do you keep putting money into something? That's just
Yeah.
aging out and hourling out.
Yeah.
Well, and
It's kind of like a car, right? Like it gets to a point where you have to either like kick can down the road and buy something new.
And like you say, the one we have, it's
It's been repaired.
challenging to use it because it's too light.
It is too light.
Our equipment is oversized
Yeah.
for the size of the tractor we have.
Okay.
Well, and that's not easy. on
That's
the
a huge
tractor either.
problem.
But you know, this tractor, I've seen it go down the road.
Yeah.
In the winter with the bucket like this. Trying to scrape.
Yeah.
So that's why you got stress fractures, because you start hitting things, right? We can't have it tip that steep and they're going full throttle with it, so. Anyways, we'll leave that one. But I think we should get a price on leasing, what we would pay a month.
You can just inquire.
And then it would just be part of asset management in the future, right? It's just we monthly or yearly contribution. Might be a yearly payment we make, right?
Well, and you know,
So-
we buy a tractor for 122. And 3 years down the road, they're probably gonna give us 80 for it or 90. Cause it's gonna have 1,200 hours on it in 3 years. Roughly.
Yeah.
Roughly, yeah. That's about seems about right if you base it off.
So you're gonna get a better trade-in value every 3 years to flip it. Like, well,
Yeah.
sorry, we're not gonna go over their hours, so.
Yeah.
Does the current one have DEF?
No.
Because of exhaust?
No, but all this new stuff will.
Yeah,
That's the other issue.
that's an issue.
Yeah.
That-
But everything being kept inside, it shouldn't be too bad. But it's another cost also because we all have to buy depth fluid.
Well, it won't run, and if you run out, it won't run. It shuts off.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna buy anything without it anymore.
No.
But you're not gonna keep it for 10 years either.
No,
No. No. Well, I will just make a motion that we do further questioning of the Brant on leasing and get a price,
Okay.
what our monthly fees would be. Because, if it's gonna be relevant to when we buy it, it's probably better to just lease it. You know, if it's about the same amount.
Mhm.
Any other conversation?
Is there any grants for municipal equipment?
No.
is Brant the only provider that we can lease from, or are there other options we can look at?
I don't know if Kubota, What was their new ones were?
Their new one is actually more and it's less power
More than,
than the new John Deere.
oh,
You have a quote there for a new one, don't
I
you?
do, I think.
Should have.
I'm just wondering for leasing options.
Yeah, we should probably get a couple different.
You get a couple just so we can, you know,
but you know, you can already tell right now that your lease from tractor land is gonna be more on the Kubota.
Yeah, so
Oh,
the
is that-
the Kubota from Tractorland, brand new, pardon me, sorry, is 161,377.
okay.
But they're only giving us 23,000.
Mhm. Yeah, well, right there, it kind of, to go, right? But let's get some quotes on.
Yep, sure.
Both. I'll make my motion to get 2 quotes, one from Brent, one from Kubota on leasing a new tractor with our trade.
What would be your favorite? Grant or Kubota?
To be honest,
Yes.
I really don't have a preference.
You just want something reliable with power.
Because to base John Deere on what they used to be, because everything's built in Mexico now in John Deere, so it's like we're looking at a Japanese tractor or a Mexican tractor.
Okay.
The quality is not.
Just comes down
It's
to
just-
warranty, right?
It's basically like comparing a Chevy, Dodge. They're all basically the same. When it comes down to it, they break, you got to fix it.
So we're not in a panic to do this, like we can bring this back next meeting, right?
Yes,
Yes.
the loader, the repair on the loader looks very good. It actually
So
looks
all
a
of
lot
those
stronger.
pieces that I've been bringing back from Dialta, are they going in? Like,
So they're going on the arms of the loader
On the
where it
arms of the
bends
loader.
that first bend. And we did it up, plated on both sides, and then we plated over that plate to join everything.
Did a really good job.
It's like,
Like, it's
it's
solid.
beefy.
yeah, I know them pieces I saw in the back weren't delighted, so.
Yeah, we went with 1/4 inch plate. And see, that being said, the blade we were using for this Kubota tractor, it's all made of 3/8 plate. So you can imagine the stress on that loader, pushing that thing around, picking it up all the time. So the blade is just way too much.
Okay,
But you're good to go with what you have right now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Like it was still working all these other years. It'll still work. It's just, we'll have to be more watching what we're doing when we're pushing snow with that thing. But I mostly use the 3-point hitch to move the snow.
Mhm.
I only have to use the blade if I have to push it.
Right.
Let me read back your motion.
okay,
Move to do further questioning to purchase a new brand or Kubota tractor with a lease option.
perfect. All in favor? Carried. Well, I guess that's it. If you want to stay, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah, do you wanna, I'll do.
Oh, you can do the report? I'll just leave this one here. All right.
Perfect. Oh,
Thank you, James.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thanks for meeting with me.
Thanks, James.
Thanks.
How'd the move go over here
Over,
to this building?
it's good. So the fire truck's actually over there now.
Yeah.
It's like I can play street hockey next door. So I'm not saying I'm going to,
That's
but yeah, it's
Yeah,
it's really
The
good.
fire truck was doing.
We're just in the
laps.
midst, we need to get the compressor hooked up, but that's the last thing. That's the last step. I'm just got bolt bins left over there.
Right on.
Nice. Yeah, it's nice to have all them days. basically, I
Oh.
don't think it's gonna happen again.
I'm sorry, I think my mouse was hovering and it clicked when I probably put the table on. So I
Sorry.
moved the mouse off because it was just muted. Find out if there's sound now. And
So-
I'll move the mouse off of it.
I lost her, is that?
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's all good. But that's basically in a nutshell what we want to have a 3 village meeting for. The Wademsa part, you're totally unaware of basically what's happening. You're kind of being thrown in there, right? So we're talking about having, like, we have regional partnership meetings, and that was us, as our Rocky Ford, the county, and the town of Strathmore. We usually get together, once a year, maybe?
Well, it used to be every
Twice a
3
year?
months.
And one partner won't come to the meetings with us anymore. So I suggested we have just go with the 3 or the 4 of us, have a meeting. But Darcy figured that we should probably have a 3 village meeting to be fair to you. So you could understand what's maybe going on more with Dempsa. So we kind of had scheduled that for the 20th, which is next Wednesday
And Rockyford can host.
in Rocky Ford.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to say to all of this stuff, and anyway, I think I better not say anymore.
What time is that at?
Did Lori say?
I would say probably 7 PM.
Maybe just touch base and send out an email.
You can't.
Let's say 7 PM unless I.
Yeah, 7 PM unless
Yeah.
you hear different.
Yeah.
So we just want to move to accept that. Basically. I'll move. All in favor? Carried. Budget 2025. Draft 1.
Okay. So, there's a nice little graph that Jen has done up today. Giving you a 3-year budget comparison, so.
Color.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I did have
Yeah,
it. I
let's
just.
see what you see. I just seen it.
I think it's
Here,
in-
take
it's in
this one.
here, isn't it?
This one here.
Oh, I just had it.
Here, you can have mine.
Okay, thank you.
Larry, did you take notes?
Did you?
Paper.
I thought they were good songs.
Yeah, I'll find it.
So with all the numbers that we have taken from last year, the last couple of years are with our asset management and putting into our reserves. Things are rolling quite a bit smoother. As you can see from the 2024 budget to the 2025 planned, we're still a little under budget. So, but there's still always that fine tuning. There's always, the school requisition never ever is correct. At the end of the year, there's always going to be some discrepancies. So, again, as long as the policing budget doesn't go up. So this just shows you basically each category. 2024 is total as of October 31st. So it just shows you that we still have quite a bit of our budget remaining.
We're at about 75%.
So, and then again, 2025 revenues, we just have no idea until we get fine tuning. We might have some lot sales, that kind of stuff.
Was there, because we didn't do projects, was there grant money that we talked about at one point that would be held over?
Yes, so that money actually is still in municipal affairs hands.
Yeah.
And it probably will stay there until we create a project. So depending on what we decide to go forward with for next year. but you can accumulate up to 5 years of funding together to pay for a big project, or we can use our operating funds and then wait for the funds to come in for future years and pay off the past project. So
Right.
right now we're sitting at last year's funds of 2023, we had 5,000 left over.
Okay.
So now we're going forward with 2024. I think we said we had 200,000.
Oh, in that one fund.
Yeah.
Something like that. Don't remember.
And then, so now we know actually our funding for 2024, 25, and 26 for CCBF and LGFF.
That's CCV,
CCBF,
B with a
B,
boy.
right?
Okay.
I think it's
And-
for building.
Yeah, community building framework funding,
Right.
and
yeah.
then LGFF, which is local government framework funding.
I don't know.
Okay.
I was looking for the acronyms list, but it's really old.
Too many.
Yeah,
So we're gonna end up having a capital projection for the next few years, plus what we have in what we're in the red, whatever, 200 or so plus 5. And then we have some new estimates from MPE. So we should probably have a discussion on capital and where we view that, what we should do next year. We're doing something.
So if you were looking for next year to completely fund a project, you would be safe in the vicinity of probably about 400,000.
400, yeah.
If you had something that was maybe using the next year's funding, then you would be looking at about 600.
So Lori just
Oh.
texted 7 PM for the village.
Oh, okay, good.
It's like they're watching their meeting.
Do we don't have all the do we have all the dollar estimates from MPE for the down at the industrial plus Frederick, just to be?
No, an industrial park is completely separate. So that one there, we're actually looking at another grant.
Okay, that's different. That's
That's-
not this money.
That's not this money.
Okay,
No,
industrial. Okay.
that's completely different. Yeah. So when we talk about the capital spending, that typically is residential. It is industrial too, but not this, not development, right?
Right,
It was to upgrade the infrastructure that's already existing, right?
right.
This is new development.
This
And
is, this
the
is,
grant that we're looking at is for new development.
okay, so
so-
this grant here, this is for upgrade only.
Pretty well, yeah,
So this is just upgrading.
yeah. Replacing aging infrastructure is what we've typically used that money for.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we've got lots of places to spend that. And then we
Mhm.
don't know what the industrial park or like
No.
new development might look like. We don't know what that might look like.
Well, right now, the next phase is probably about, what did you say?
We said $1 million.
Oh, yeah, complete the whole thing, $1
Mhm.
million, yeah. That's what we're gonna put in the grant
Go for
application.
the grant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is at least $1 million. And but the next is just to do the road crossing, the easement and rough grading, like
Yeah.
would be probably about 150,000,
Great.
easy. So if anything, to keep the project moving, if we don't get any grant applications, it might be feasible to pay for that until we could get some extra grants and
Mhm.
funding.
Then the two new development we have are that we've talked about are the industrial park. And then we'd also have the Frederick extension, right?
Yeah,
That's the only new stuff we've talked about for capital, right?
new extension, yeah.
Thanks. Thank you.
So that's just kind of an overview.
We want them, well, we can take this home and look at.
Oh, yeah, and this is just information,
Start,
so,
right?
and as we keep getting requisitions and stuff, like next month, we'll have more that we can put actuals into the budget so that it'll become more clarified.
You want to move to accept that as information?
I'll make a motion to accept the information.
All in favor? There's reports. 10.1. Mike,
I missed the Wademsa the last meeting. I don't know why. Well, I think the next meeting is on November 18th.
Okay. Wheatland Housing Management Body, our last meeting was October 20th. Next meeting's November 21st. Our roof is done. We have a new member at large from the county. This is Debbie Wakelam. And Rick Lawerson and Glenn Kester are back on as county, and pretty much everyone else stayed the same. It's just ongoing. We're waiting. We want to go up and have a meeting with the Minister of Housing. The whole lodge board, go sit down with them in a room and have discussion. We're waiting to hear back when that would be. We were hoping to have it done by now, but we haven't heard back. That's about the biggest part of it. So Drumheller District Solid Waste, Larry.
Last meeting was October 17, organizational meeting. Everything pretty much stayed the same. There was 3 new members from different municipalities, one of them was from Cardiff. So there is some new faces in there. The next meeting is November 21.
I'm just trying to find my meeting from WFCSS, Richard.
So we had our meeting on October 23rd. Some of the stuff that we're working on right now is advocacy for increasing sustainable funding, innovation and inclusivity, standing up for those without access to technology in the rural area. So a lot of seniors in that. Our next meeting is November 27th.
WRC, last meeting was October 16th. We had organizational meeting and I stayed on as chair. Tim Frank is now the vice chair. We have one new county councillor is Shannon McCrease. Everything's ongoing. We're still down our level 3 operator. Not sure when he's going to be able to come back to work. Running with 2 guys right now. So far, everything's been going good. Yeah, and looking into whether or not we can go down to a level 2. There's been talk without our RO running. So maybe shouldn't have said anything. It's just in the works. So that's about it. Our next meeting is December 18th. Community Futures, Larry, or Richard.
So Community Futures, we had our meeting on November the 7th. We actually we're looking at a new initiative for funding. We're actually looking at possibly doing bridge funding. We're looking at doing that we have a couple of people that are actually building houses they purchased some lots and they're building homes, and they're actually looking at getting bridge funding from one to the other as they move forward. We've approved that, so that's a big thing for us moving forward. Still doing a couple of smaller projects of getting some new businesses. We're looking at getting some of the more of the young entrepreneurs out, some of the ladies becoming homeowners or business owners. Sorry. And our next meeting is December 5th.
Library, Larry.
Last meeting was November 4th. The board wanted me to speak to you people. The WFCSS had approached them and wanted to get into some sort of agreement with them. So they will be looking at that. Next meeting is December 2.
Asset management.
Oh, by the way, open house on the 2nd is an open house for Christmas.
December 2nd.
Sorry.
No, that's fine.
With some of the work going on with the GS map, with this development permit and stuff, we found a few houses that had some addresses missing. So those need to be added in still. And all the new trees were added into the GIS map. And yeah, just waiting on the hydrant information.
And 7 or 8 meters were replaced.
Yeah, those, I guess I get used to updating those.
Yep.
Yeah, I
Is
was
it-
updating our meters.
Strategic planning.
Well, for this one, Yvette wanted me to just give a list of some of the grants that we're working on. The strategic plan's been, I think, really great. It's been focusing a lot of our efforts on how we look at projects and look at funding and look at grants and things like that. We've been moving along. And I keep it updated in the newsletter every month. And I think people are reading it, so it's good. There's 5 grants on the go right now. The feasibility study grant for the community buildings and the solar project. One called STIP, that's the infrastructure program. That's the one Yvette was referring to that develops the infrastructure for the industrial park, the brand new institution. There's a community facility enhancement program, large. That's the one I'm looking at with regards to the SO building, but it will require a lot of work. It has to be very specific, very well thought through. So that one's gonna be on the list for a long time. If we do something with the SO building. The ACP grant that was submitted in September 25th that we applied for with MPE. That's to do a study on all of the sewer and the water and to track things. And we've included in that grant language that allows us to broaden the scope so that if we want to consider putting washroom facilities somewhere or enhancing our recreation space or water for the rodeo, the capacity to build lines or the feasibility of those lines is part of this grant. And then the 5th one is the community facility enhancement program, small. That's the one that I was looking into to replace the shale. And we as a municipality can't actually apply for these programs. It has to be the groups that do. So I've been in communication with primarily ag with Brendan, and he's informed me that they are looking at the same grant for other things. So they're taking the shale research I put into it and adding it to theirs. And then they will spearhead putting in the application. That one's not due till January 15th. And so we'll likely be reached out to write a letter of support because it's required for this grant.
Development planning.
So in the new local Alberta elections, the Municipal Affairs Status Amendment Act is actually, it enables multi-year residential property tax incentives now. Before it was just for businesses, and now you'll be able to do something for residential also. So just to keep that in mind. So you could sell a lot and say, okay, well, we'll give you
A break.
a break on taxes, or before it was just for businesses, now you can do it for residential to entice people to purchase or
To move here.
to move here.
I know there's a couple other villages that are doing that for some of their lots for selling.
Yeah.
And if they buy a house, it's if they buy a lot and build a house, it's 2 years. And if they buy a derelict property and rehab it, it's 3 years. Either 3 years tax exemption. So if they purchase a derelict property and turn it into a $600,000 house, they're still tax free for 3 years.
Yeah.
So it's regardless of value. So
There's places that are doing that instead of lowering the prices on their.
Yeah,
lots, right?
yeah. So there's
Think outside the box.
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
That it for that?
That is it for that story.
Solar proposal.
Sorry, Yvette just had me type out a timeline
Yeah.
to give you guys this information. And it starts back in 2023 when the solar project became an idea and the research that went into it. And then it goes into 2026, which would be the completion, the dates are obviously estimates, but they're geared towards this feasibility grant study. Once the application is in, it takes 4 or 5 months before you get the approval for it. So if we get in before the end of this year, the soonest we'll know about it is early spring. So that's where I'm gauging these dates for next year from. And likewise, if we follow up with the next grant, it's another 4 or 5 months, and then we'll be, if awarded, we'll be awarded that money, and then we can move on. And so that's where all those timelines in 2020. They are good estimates, but they are only estimates. They're informed.
RCMP.
So we're still just looking at this as a possibility.
Yeah, we're looking at it as a possibility until the feasibility study is completed. If we get this grant and we do the feasibility study, and then we get all that MPE would be the engineers that provide the engineers for the feasibility to look at the buildings and do all the scope work. Then after we get that feasibility study back, that's when it's time to say, okay, are we going to go for the next grant and put these retrofits in? And the next grant is an 80% fund, 20% loan. And so I have in there that, I mean, I'm just making guesstimates that you would want to have written agreements with the groups that whatever retrofits they put in their building, they're going to help with that 20%, pay for their building and all that kind of stuff. And at that time, the grant would also pay for the solar array. It also goes to show, I could include the board, the Broadway group has approached and asked if they could be included in the solar array. And so I did speak with FCM, my liaison, and we discussed that because the board is a community group, and even though it is a for-profit business, the building is used, like they have a rental side that they've used for community stuff. And so there's a community function aspect to it, and the board itself is not profit. So they could qualify to join our little group of nonprofits to be part of the feasibility study, and by extension, get onto our solar array system.
RCMP stats.
It was in the package?
Yep.
Many pages.
Any questions on that? Ramp,
No update on rep.
move to accept reports as information.
I'll make that motion to move to accept his
All
information.
in favor? Carried.
I see 2 minutes.
Yep, no problem. So do I, actually. Get this tickle out of my throat.
You want a coffee? Oh.
Yes, I would love one of them.
Oops.
It's already open. Oh, sure.
I think there's a lot. Yeah.
That was
Falling out.
already, I would suggest you.
I don't care at this time.
But, you know,
Okay, maybe I'll take the pain in my back away.
It's not that good.
Safety, everything's gone.
Yeah. So y'all knew we had our Ford F-350 stolen from Rocky Ford on the weekend?
No, I didn't say anything yet. I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Their sanding truck and plow. Luckily, the sanding truck or the sanding unit and the plow aren't on it yet. Cause I'm going to be using it this week for Christmas decorations. So it was found in northeast Calgary
Oh my gosh.
with big bundles of shingles that weren't in it before, new shingles and a ladder. But it is still in the impound. It's in insurance hands now.
No arrests?
No which? No
No
arrests.
arrests?
No. So, yeah. Yeah.
Why didn't they?
You're lying.
Could have.
Hmm?
Are you trying to find a way they could have stolen better? That's brain always thinking.
Well, that's why we're lucky. Like I can get one truck and mowers in my shop. but still having all our stuff inside.
It's in a secure building.
What the heck flavor are those?
Grapefruit.
That's what I thought.
It's too, I've used my last Ricola, but I've had these like,
I've got Hall.
berry medley, they're delicious.
Yeah.
No, I'm not signing that.
I can fill in all the dates if there's any dates there, so.
Yeah, I figured you would. That's why I'm just looking through signing.
Those were the approved tonight.
Ongoing business bylaw and policies. Policy submitted October 9th. Any questions? Maybe want to move to adopt those.
I'll make the motion to adopt.
All in favor? Carried. We want to move to accept the new policies for this meeting to be reviewed December 11th. I'll move. All in favor? Carried. Councilors' concerns.
I have two. I'm not to be following your council's concerns, so please verify or correct me if I'm wrong. Somebody did approach me and asked, there are a couple of residents who are parking in the grass area, like where we've had all the ditch work done and everything else. They're parking their vehicles there. Some are parking kind of haphazardly any which way and everything else. So they were saying it just didn't look
Well, it gets wet, it's gonna wreck the ditch.
well, and that was the thing, and their concern was that if there was any infrastructure underneath them. I said, I'm not sure, but I'm still bring it to,
Where is this happening?
the one is just down on the corner across from me,
Okay,
It's on the Broadway.
on the Broadway, yeah. And there was another one they saw that was down further down, Christian Avenue. Down toward your place.
On village property.
On village property, yeah. And the second one was, I was approached and a couple other residents were approached with Memory Lane. If that reverts back to us, we own the buildings that become ours, correct?
Correct.
So they were approached and there was vandalism and they were trying to see a way for getting cameras, but they were talking about doing security and anything else. I'm just wondering, is there anything that I was asked to see if there's anything that we could do to look at assisting with that, because that's ensuring our interests. Without trying to cover our interests. I know it's their property, that's why I was just,
I'll just tell you from experience, cameras are a waste of time and money. Every break-in we've had in Rocky Ford, we have proved nothing. And the cops won't even, they look at the video but you can't recognize the face because they always have their hoods over. You can't see a plate. I don't know. I don't think it's up to the village to do that. If Memory Lane wants to do it.
So I think what they're looking at is they would like to put internet down there, and they could, it would cost them, Merle already quoted them $30 a month.
And then just putting Wi-Fi cameras in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, that's,
but they were sort of hoping that they would have gotten it for free, but Merle said he's already tapped out with the senior center and the community hall. Every other facility pays for it. We pay for it here. It's not free for us, right? But
okay. That it?
that's it, yeah.
Larry?
Nope.
Mike?
Nope.
Well, I had one, but I talked to Yvette about it already. Cause I just thought I just thought I'd better bring these guys up in it. It's more of an operations deal to do. We have our seniors go down, get their mail, come down with their walkers. And they take a shortcut across the street, go to Gates's, and they go over the median. And we got all that big chunks of lava rock in there now, and it makes it really hard to walk. So I thought we should just go buy 4 or however many just cement blocks and just rake the shale back and just make a path across the median on the Broadway. You know what I'm saying?
And then paint lines for a crosswalk.
Facility.
Well, they're crossing there anyway. I'm just thinking if we don't want a senior falling in there, right? But I don't know how you stop them from.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea, but we need to make some sort of,
I'm not against
we gotta define that as a crosswalk for people who are driving, so they, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
We'll take a look at it, but I was thinking actually after we talked about it was to, instead of like the paving stones is, well, we'll figure out where we're gonna put them and just put like a little cement. We'll just do it with cement because we're gonna, when we redo the Broadway, we're gonna have to do all those, what are they called? The curbs. Well, it's curbs, they call it something else, right?
Urban gutter.
Yeah, but we'll have to that'll all be redone anyway. So then at that time, we can put the actual cement. With the,
Mm.
Yeah, like a sidewalk.
yeah.
So you're
One on
talking
each
about
end, so
the
people,
building?
when people cut it.
Well, I
across,
said-
instead of going
I said
down.
one, and then Yvette said, well, we could maybe put one at the library, like kind of down
Yeah,
seniors
because that's where
library,
we
and
cut
then
across all
one
the time.
down from the store to Gates's.
There is a crosswalk at the far end, right?
There is, but
Existing now.
yeah, I know, and there is, but so we have a 90-year-old lady with a walker or whatever. And she, especially when there'd be like to walk around because the old corner hardware, that sidewalk never gets cleaned except for when James gets out there and does it, right? So they walk across because it's clear at Brett's, clear at Gates's. And we can't stop them from walking there. I mean, we're never
No,
gonna.
no,
I'm just trying to prevent
Yeah.
one of our seniors from falling.
but it could be a tripping hazard getting up off the street onto, you know.
You're right. But
We'll never-
we can't do anything there.
We'll never remove it, we have to mitigate it.
We can't do anything off the curb onto the road, but we can. Well, I mean, I guess if we designated it a cross.
Well, if we cut a section out and put in a.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. No, it's not a bad idea.
That's, you could do that, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think if we're gonna do anything, you gotta do it properly.
Yeah, no,
It
that,
has to be denoted.
yeah, no, that's fine. I just like to protect seniors, so.
There's nothing wrong with having that crosswalk there, but we gotta prevent.
Yeah. Okay, well, we'll look
Good
into it.
idea.
We won't be doing anything there until next summer anyway.
Yeah.
Spring.
Depending on when we do.
That's all I have.
Phase 2 of the Broadway.
We want to move to accept counselor concerns.
I'll move.
All in favor? Carried. Move to accept Brownlee information that court did not grant.
Is that closed session?
Oh,
Okay.
So Brownlee just called and they requested quite a bit of information on the claim, so that was provided to them. So unfortunately, though, the application to strike the action via the desk did not come through, so they will have to present in person an application in court, and I will have to sign an affidavit. So we just need a motion to accept that. It's just for the record.
What's that about?
That we cannot talk about.
we can't talk
Okay.
about that.
Okay.
We can go in camera if you wanted.
No, it's okay, it's okay.
I think you can probably
If,
figure it
if
out.
everybody else figures it out, then, you know, if you know what it is, I'm not sure I'm following. this.
You know what?
You have to make an informed decision.
Okay,
No, it's not. If you go take that.
We
stop.
need a motion to
To
go
go
I will make a motion to go in camera,
for legal.
legal.
for legal.
I don't want you going away from here not understanding what's going on. It's not fair to you.
Oh,
So we want to move to accept the information from Brownlee.
So moved.
All in favor? Carried. CA overview. We need to move to have Counselor question mark and question mark to
usually mayor and deputy mayor do the review, but, so we need to set time, date, or what do we want to do?
We could do it before the next meeting, potentially.
You want to do it for the next
I don't know,
meeting?
is that what
Okay,
we do?
6 o'clock.
Sure.
So December, I think that is,
Send me a reminder,
11th?
please.
is it the 11th?
That's what it says here.
I think so, yeah.
Review for the December 11th
Oh,
meeting.
there we go. Okay. December 11th, 6 p.m. Okay, I'll have everything ready.
Okay, and you gave us a sheet.
Yes,
meeting.
last time I can resend you all that. I'll send you the,
I have
some
some
other stuff.
Yes, you got, I can.
Yeah. Okay. All right, that's all we needed to do. Get that set.
Well, we want to move to adjourn.
Wait, we didn't get a motion to move to have specific counselors.
Oh, no, sorry. Yes, we didn't. Sorry. I'll move that. No, I can't move.
I'll move that mayor and deputy mayor do the CEO review for December, prior to the December 11th meeting.
All in favor? Carried. Now we can go to 14. Larry moves to adjourn.
Time is it?
8:44.
So I was just gonna. Oh, wait, but you got it.